Hello everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel Maths Plus. So today here also another topic I'll be discussing, your class 9 Ncert book number system, that is chapter 1. In this number system chapter, two types of numbers you will find. What are they? That is rational number and another is your irrational numbers. So rational numbers, you can see how they are defined. They are defined as what? Like they should be in the form of p by q. P and q are integers, isn't it? We have read it since class 7. P and q are integers. And denominator you can see that is q. So q should not be equal to 0. These three conditions must be fulfilled to identify that it is a rational number. Now here also the definition will be just the reverse. What? It cannot be written in the form of p by q. It cannot be written in the form of p by q where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So this is the difference between a rational number and irrational number. I hope this is understood. The examples if I put, we can write like this, like 2 by 7 minus 4 by 5, even minus 6 by minus 10 also, even 5, 0, minus 2. These are what? The examples of like rational numbers. The irrational numbers examples like root 2, root 3, root 5, this etc. So whatever taught in class 9th Ncert syllabus, those examples I have written. Okay. So now in this chapter number system, whatever I have discussed just now, rational and irrational numbers. So only one other topic I will be discussing, that is the rationalization portion. Rationalization of denominators. It is a separate topic, which is a very important topic. And here you will be learning some identities related to your irrational numbers. Okay, so let us discuss. So what are the identities? Let us write down first. So I will be writing here, let A and B be two positive real numbers. I hope we understood real numbers means what. So that include both rational and irrational. So that type of numbers you have to choose and they should be positive. So related to this, let us discuss some identities. So if I discuss now, the first one is what? Root A into root A is equal to how much? Root A ka whole square. That means what? A to the power 1 by 2 whole to the power 2. If you use the laws of indices or laws of exponents, then it will be what? A to the power 2 into 1 by 2. And you see 2 gets cancelled and it will be A to the power 1 or simply A. That means you can remember this much. Root A into root A, I will be getting what? A. That means what you see, root A was an irrational number, and when again the same irrational number is multiplied with itself, and that case only happens for what? Square root of A and square root of A. Then you will be getting what? A rational number, that is A. So like that, if you take some example related to this, so I will be taking root root over of 2 into root over of 2. What will be the answer using this identity? It will be simply 2. Like that, if I take root 7 into root 7, so what will be the answer? Answer will be 7. In this way, we'll be using the identities and get the rational numbers. And that's why we say, what will be the rationalizing factor of root 2 if asked? I can say root 2 is the rationalizing factor of root over of 2. Like that, if I ask about this, what will be the rationalizing factor of root a? So simply I will say root a, root over of a, is the rationalizing factor of root a, because due to that only a rational number, that is a. So similarly, some examples I have put here. The second one, it is like root a into root b is equal to what? Root over of a into b. So if one example will be given, root 2 into root 3. So what will be the answer here? It will be straight written like this. Whole root over of what? 2 into 3 using this identity. And the answer will be what? Root over of 6. Understood? I think so. Okay. So bit 3. Bit 3 is what? Like suppose if it is given root over of a by root over of b, then what it will be? Whole root over of a by b. We can do like this. Then fourth identity if I discuss is again a very important one. If I say root over of a plus root over of b whole into root over of a minus root over of b. So if you remember, in class 8 we have done this, use this identity for factorization and all. So this identity is what? Related to this a plus b whole into a minus b. This implies what? Is equal to a ka square and b ka square. Similarly, here also we have to do that because it is in this format. You can relate to this form. It is a plus b and a minus b form. That's why what we'll do, we will find the root over of a ka square, then root over of b ka square. Then obviously, if you relate to the first identity, root a ka whole square is equal to what? A. So here also we'll be writing a. And similarly, it will be b. So I can say therefore, root over of a plus root over of b whole into root over of a minus root over b are rationalizing factor of each other, because if they are multiplied with themselves, you can see you are getting what? A minus b, which is a rational number. So basing upon these four identities, we'll be discussing some more examples related to the, like, numbers we'll be taking irrational numbers and we'll be rationalizing the denominators and we'll check whether they are rational or irrational or not. So let us discuss. So as we have discussed some of the identities now, just four identities, some more identities will be there also. So we'll be knowing the applications of those identities in my next class and in my next video also. So some questions I have written here, like you can see on the board. Number 1 is 1 by root 2, then 2 by 2 root 3, then question 3 is root 3 by root 5, then 4 is what? 1 by 1 plus root 2, 5th is 3 by root over of 3 minus 2. So you can see in the denominators, you can see all the denominators are what? Irrational numbers. That means we have to rationalize it. Will not be keeping the denominators as irrational numbers. We will be keeping it as a rational number. Okay, so let us solve the first question. What is that? That is 1 by root 2. So what you saw here? Root 2 is the denominator. That means it is an irrational number. So what you will do? So root 2, if I multiply root 2 with root 2, so what I will get? 2 I will get. But here you see numerator is 1. So if you are multiplying any number with the denominator, the same number will be what? Multiplied with the numerator also. The answer will be what? Root over of 2 by 2. So this is your answer. I think you got to know how the denominator is rationalized. Next question is what? 2 by 2 root 3. You can see this 2 by 2 root 3 is equal to what? So now you see 2 root 3 means what? That means it is what? 2 into root 3. I am writing it here. 2 root 3 means it is 2 into root 3. Now tell me, how much you should multiply to rationalize this? So simply what I will multiply? I will multiply root over of 3 only. Then only root over of 3 into root over of 3 will be 3. So that's why only here you will be multiplying root over of 3. Don't multiply 2 root 3. Not required. You will be only rationalizing what? The irrational number. So since it is in the product form 2 root 3, that means it is what? 2 into root 3. That means if I multiply 2 root 3 into root 3, that will be like this. 2 into root 3 into root 3 is equal to what? 2 into 3 is equal to how much? 6. Because this root 3 into root over 3, what it becomes? It becomes 3. That's why it becomes now 3 into 2 is how much? 6. So here also the same thing will happen. Whatever number you have multiplied with the denominator, the same you will be multiplying with the what? Numerator. And with the same sign also. Sign changes should be also very much taken care of. So it will be how much? 2 root 3 by what? 2 into 3 is equal to how much? 2 root 3 by 6. Now is that the answer? Final answer? No. We can also simplify 2 and 6. Because always the any whatever rational number form you are getting p by q form, so everything is simplified. Standard form में लिखा जाता है. Standard form means you have to bring to the lowest term. So now 2, if divided by 2 it will be 1, and 6 divided by 2 it will be 3. The answer is how much? Root over of 3 by 3. Clearly understood? Okay. So let us discuss the next question. Simple examples I have put now. So we'll be doing complicated questions also, difficult questions in the next class. Only for understanding purpose, I have just mentioned these questions so that you can relate the identities with these questions. So now, root over of 3 by root over of 5. So here also, root 5 is irrational. How to make it rationalized or rational number? So you have to multiply same root over of 5. The numerator also will be multiplied with root over of 5. I hope you must have got the idea how to rationalize the denominator. So now you see root over of 3 into root over of 5. If you remember the second identity, you can write here. Root 3 into root over of 5. Then what it will be? Root over of 3 into 5. And root 5 into root 5, how much it will be? Simply 5. How much it will be? Root over of 15 by 5. But don't simplify 15 and 5. That will be wrong. Because root 15 is what? An irrational number. 5 is what? A rational number. They cannot be simplified with each other. So, let it be like that. Next is fourth one. For fourth one, I am erasing the above 3. I hope this much is clear. Okay. Fourth one. It is what? 1 by 1 plus root 2. So now see, it is in which form? Denominator. A plus B form. That's why what you can write here? You can multiply here what? 1 plus 1 minus root 2 in the numerator and 1 minus root 2 in the denominator also. Because if you see, this is in which form? A plus B form. We have to multiply A minus B form. Because we know in the fourth identity we have discussed, A plus B whole into A plus B. Then it becomes what? A square minus B square. Because square root means if you square the number, the root over sign will be vanished. So now, 1 will be multiplied with this 1 minus root 2. So what it will be? It will be simply 1 minus root 2. Then if I go for this, A plus B to A minus B form, then I have to use which identity? A square minus B square. So it will be 1 ka whole square minus root over of 2 ka whole square. So what it will be? 1 minus root 2 by 1 ka square, it is 1, and it is how much? It is 2. So what is the denominator now? 1 minus root 2 by minus 1. And you know, in case of standardized form and all, so we don't write any negative numbers in the denominator. So what we must do, we'll be multiplying minus 1 in the numerator and minus 1 in the denominator. If I multiply, what answer I will get? It will be minus 1 minus root 2 whole by, it will be plus 1, because minus into minus plus, denominator becomes positive. And now by 1 matlab, you know, the denominator is not written, only the numerator part will be written. So how much it will be? Like minus 1 plus root 2, or I can write root 2 minus 1 is the answer. Just think, it's a simple question. Now the answer, you see the steps. Step by step I have written. Everything accurately I have written. So don't miss any steps. You will be confused. Every step if you go on, clearly you will be getting the accurate answer. No corrections also required. So okay, next go for the fifth question. I have to erase this. Okay, now let us go to the fifth question. The fifth question is all about what? Let us write the question first. The 5 is given 3 by root over of 3 minus 2. So how to rationalize the denominator in this case? So let us see, the denominator is in which form. We have to see, is it in a plus b form or is it in a minus b form? As I have already told you, if it is in a minus b form, we will be multiplying what? A plus b form. So it is given what? Root 3 minus 2. So I will be multiplying root 3 plus 2. Then numerator is 3 here. The 3 will be also multiplied with which number? This one, root 3 plus 2. This is equal to how much? So using the distributive property, we can find out the product in the numerator case. So it will be 3 into root 3. That means 3 root 3. Then plus 3 into 2. How much? Plus 2. That is plus 6 whole by. So it is in which form? A minus b into a plus b. So that will be a square minus b square. So it will be root 3 ka whole square minus 2 ka whole square. Is that understood? Which identity has been used here? A plus b into a minus b form. Then what will be the numerator here? 3 root 3 plus 6 by root 3 ka whole square. How much it is? 3. And 2 ka whole square, it will be minus 4. So now you see, denominator again it becomes minus 1. So you have to be very careful whenever the denominator is negative. So 3 root 3 plus 6 by minus 1. So how to make the denominator positive? We have to multiply minus 1 in both numerator and denominator. So what will be getting? The minus whole into 3 root 3 plus 6 whole by plus 1. Because minus 1 into minus 1, it will be plus 1. So when the brackets will be opened, so what you will be getting? Minus 3 root 3 minus 6. So this is your answer. This was understood. So this was the last question discussed for the time being. So we will be discussing further some important questions and related to some other identities, which I will be discussing in the next class and in my next video only. So hope you all like my class today, and even you must have understood how to rationalize the denominators, which is a very special topic in this chapter. And henceforth I'll be discussing some important questions related to this. So these are some initial questions, like to understand the rationalization of the denominators using the identity. So let us discuss in the next class. So till then, have a nice day all of you. Thank you for watching my video, and please don't forget to